Hello, I'm Michelle Lin, and I'm an associate professor of emergency medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, and the editor-in-chief of the Academic Life and Emergency Medicine website. Now, I, like you, am passionate about medical education at the bedside, at the local, and at the global levels. But in today's world of online technologies, the educator can get lost in a sea of faceless names. So how does a learner today know who to trust? This is the crux of why it's so important that we as educators develop a digital brand identity. Broadly speaking, this is a self-created, carefully crafted, transparent, professional identity representing who you are or want to be in the online world. Now, for me, I'm trying to build a brand which is as a collaboratively disruptive innovator with OCD perfectionist tendencies in the areas of medical education, digital scholarship, and social media technologies. What's your digital brand?
Hi, my name is Teresa Chan, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I think digital branding is. To me, digital branding is about representing yourself to the world. And now, because of the digital world that we live in, it's about leaving your imprint on that digital space. For me, professionally, it has meant that I have had to dig really hard about who I think I'd like to represent to the world. And in that branding, I've tried to explain to the world what I'm about. So, for example, I really believe that we can share and co-learn together. So the products that I put out are like the Allium Medic series, where we basically interface with the world and see what everybody's shared decisions are, or facilitating a podcast even with Anton Hellman about how we actually interface with EBM in a way that is a constructed meaning shared between the person who's reading the study, and then also with regards to how you actually implement it at the bedside. And so I want to represent to the world that I believe that we can co-construct meaning and that we can co-construct what it is that we have out there. And I think that a big part of what digital branding is having a core unto yourself and then portraying that and those core values to the world.
Hi, my name is Nishant Sharma, and I'm the education lead at W21C. My digital brand is important because it is my identity for more and more people that I work with. My brand is also important for reach, as I connect with fewer people here and more here, and here. Digital used to mean this or this, but now we have tools that uphold what's important to how I work: sharing knowledge, dialogue, two-way communication. My digital brand is important because it doesn't compromise how I work or how I represent myself, but rather enhances my ability to teach, to interact, to learn from hundreds of brilliant people out there.
I'm Anne-Marie Cunningham, a GP and medical educator from Cardiff in the United Kingdom. I've been online for about 6 years, and the concept of digital brand used to quite irritate me because it did feel contrived. And of course, over time, you do realise that people very much make assumptions about you from what they see online. And it's all of our responsibilities to make sure that how we come across online is what we would hope people would learn about us whenever they meet us face to face and get a much more rounded opinion of us. So from my interactions and what I say online, I hope that what's clear to people are my values. So I'd hope that they'd see that I value student and learner voice and patient and public voice in discussions about medical education, that honesty, integrity and justice are very important to me, and that I'll ask lots of questions and be curious. And for me, that's what my digital brand is about.
Hi, I'm Neil Mehta. I'm an internal medicine physician at the Cleveland Clinic, and I'm also associate professor of medicine and Director of Education Technology at the Cleveland Clinic. With the growing popularity of the web and access to smart mobile devices, people are increasingly searching for information using search engines on the internet rather than asking people they know in real life. In addition, when they search for something using Google, it's very rare they actually scroll down below the fold, as we call it. So the search results that show up in the top half of the search result page are critical. With appropriate use of Web 2.0 tools and social media, a person can control what shows up about that person or himself or herself in the top half of search result pages. If you do not do this, you will see content created by third parties over which you have no control. It is thus important to create and take control of your digital identity so you can have a true representation of yourself to the world.
Hello, I'm Natalie Lafferty and I'm Director of Technology and Learning at the College of Medicine, Dentistry and Nursing at the University of Dundee in the UK. So digital branding to me speaks really of my digital identity and my digital presence. And that's something which has been, I guess, emerging and growing over the past 6 years since I first started to use Twitter and I started to blog and use tools like SlideShare. And to me, the key benefit that I've seen from developing that digital presence and identity is that it's allowed me to become a member of various networks, digital networks and communities of practice online. And those networks comprise of many individuals internationally involved in medical education and healthcare professions education. And in these networks, the conversation, the discourse, it introduces you to new ways of thinking, to new ideas, to new research. It challenges your assumptions, but most importantly, it contributes to my personal learning, to my lifelong learning. And in turn, what that does is really help me to think afresh or look in a new way at actually what we're trying to do locally in terms of enhancing the learning experience for our own students.
I'm Brent Thoma, and I'm a fifth-year emergency medicine resident from the University of Saskatchewan, as well as an editor at the medical education blogs Boring EM and Academic Life in Emergency Medicine. I consider a digital brand to be the online representation of an organization or an individual. The internet makes it possible for us to use our online presence and interactions to define an accessible public identity. By developing a brand that is consistent with our values and interests, we can let others know who we are and what we are about. My digital brand highlights my interests in medical education and emergency medicine. I've used blogs to share my ideas and Twitter and Facebook to promote them. As my online profile has grown, I have been drawn to and found by like-minded individuals and organizations who have values and goals consistent with my own. They have taught me, inspired me, enhanced my productivity, disseminated my ideas, and provided opportunities that I would have never dreamed of. And that is what a digital brand is to me. It's a tool that represents me to the world, and in doing so, helps me to connect with an international community of like-minded individuals. If you don't have a digital brand, your communities are going to have a difficult time finding you.
So, hi, I'm Ali Jalali from University of Ottawa. Digital branding to me is to put your digital footprint online, to have a presence online that talks about you and not a digital shadow that comes from what other people say about you on in life. Many MDs, many physicians, doctors, healthcare providers, and teachers worry about the ratings they receive online and everything, and they tell me, I never Google myself because I don't want to see those. And I always tell the same thing, create a digital footprint for yourself, have a website, put a link to it to your email, and that will be your digital branding. That will be you telling the world about yourself in a digital world, which is much more important than having a digital shadow out there, because people will be still talking about you, but this way you will have your own digital footprint online. Thank you. That's why you need to have a digital footprint for yourself, because a digital shadow may not be sufficient for people to know what